Okay, welcome to how to start a live counseling group in Schoology. So this could be a great way for us to work in our small groups and still have students get that feedback from their classmates in a safe environment. So I'm going to walk you through step by step. Remember, when you're watching this video, if it goes too fast, just press the pause button and you can rewind a little bit, and that way you can toggle back and forth and create your own group as we go along. So if you have not already made a group, or you maybe some of you have already made all of your groups, your grade levels, or however you've decided to sort it, the first thing that you're going to do if you haven't done that is to click My Groups and create a group. And your create a group is right over here. So when you create a group, it's going to be important that you want to name your group, whether it's your small group or if it's your 5th grade group. Remember when Carolyn Stone was here, she advised us not to name our groups by the skills we're working on, but just name it, 5th grade group. So that way, because our students will be able to see the title of this group, so we don't want to classify what skills, but we do want to just let them know that this is the 5th grade group that's happening. So I already have a group here, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on it. If you are still making a group, then you're going to have to add some members. So you can either use that by inviting them and giving the access code to teachers, or you can go ahead and add members. You just have to add students one at a time by typing their names and adding them. I would suggest not adding members without the invite. So that way you're just adding them directly as is. They don't have to accept the invitation. They're just coming in, especially if it's a group that you already have started and you're just trying to continue that work. So once you're in, you're going to create a conference, which is over here on the left-hand side, and you click on the Create New Conference. And really what the conference is just your small group time. So if this is my Tuesday 5th grade group, then I would name it Tuesday 5th grade. You can even, name it with the date, however you want to do it. So you're going to put in the date of the group that you want to start, and then what time you want that to start. Right, so I want it at 3 p.m. today. You can add an end time, but you don't really need to do that. It's just if you want to, you can. So go ahead and create. Now the problem that we found is, like other platforms, this does not send a link. There's no copy and paste option for you. There's nothing here that lets us know that there's a conference coming up or group coming up. So you would have to alert your parents or have your teachers alert the parents of the students in your group that the conference will be on Tuesday at 3 p.m. and then it will be up to them to come and join. So when they get to their group site, they're going to see the options over here, and they'll click on the conferences and they'll see the option here to join. So this is really the only place that they're going to see that there's a conference scheduled. So if you know that you're going to do this every Tuesday for the next 6 weeks, you can put in every single one so then parents can write those down. You don't have to wait until this exact time or even this exact day to start your group. This is just kind of the alert. So if you're in and you're ready, you can go ahead and click Start Conference. When it comes on, it's going to ask you to join audio. You're going to want to do microphone. If you do listen only, you won't be able to speak to the kids. So make sure you click microphone. You're going to have to allow every time. And then it's going to run a quick little test to make sure that it's hearing you. So it's here. You click yes.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
So this big blue button pops up first, just kind of tells you the options that they have and what each of these little buttons maybe do on their site here. But for the most part, you can just keep this a blank slide if you would like to by just scrolling this over. This you can use as a whiteboard. So if you wanted to present something or write something to the students, then you would be able to turn the whiteboard on and the students would be able to, oops, we gotta actually click a tool. The students would be able to do the same thing. So if you wanted them to draw, how am I feeling today, then they would be able to do that. If it's just left on, then it's really just you are drawing and they can't draw back. So these tools would be like you would find on any drawing application. Now, if you don't want this box up, then all you have to do is hide that, and that just goes away. If you want it back because you want to write something or draw something or create something, then you just bring it back up. Okay, so now there are no students or anybody actually in our conference right now. So it's going to look a little bit different when students or parents or your teachers start accessing this. But when they come on, their names will pop up here at the top, and they will also pop over here on the side. So you can see who's accessed. You'll also be able to see if they are muted or unmuted. And that's this first blue button right here kind of flashing at us.
You are
If
now
I click
muted.
it, she tells me I am now muted, and my microphones in both places turn red. So it's up to me to unmute that.
You are
So
now unmuted.
you can't hear a student, but you see their name there. You can tell them that they need to press the microphone button to unmute. They will still be able to hear you, but they will have to unmute that. We don't see that there's an option for us to unmute them. This one here is leaving audio. It will just take you out of the audio. You might be able to see, but you can't hear. So if that happens, you just click on it, go through those same steps again, and you'll be back
You
where
are
you
currently
started.
the only person in this conference.
So the other buttons down here are the webcam. So this is where we would want to see our students, or more importantly, for our students to see us. So forgive me, I'm low quality, it says, right? So you can change that, but I would leave it low quality since so many people are accessing the internet. So you start sharing your webcam and you're going to pop up. So obviously make sure that your top half is looking professional. You're not in your PJs, and again, that might be something that you want to share with your students as well. But your webcam is here, so make sure that if you have a screen slider or you have a sticker or something covering, that you undo that. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to turn that off. But you'll want students to share that if you want to see their faces, or you want them to see you. You can, when you log on, actually, you will see all of the kids yourself, but the students, what we found in our experiment was they will not be able to see each other. So you will see them, they will see you, but they will not see each other. They will be able to hear each other, but they won't see each other's smiling faces. You can share your screen. So we did find that was a way that you could have them see each other if you shared what you were looking at on your screen. So that's one way if you really want them to see each other. This feature, the sharing your screen, is also good if you are going to share a video or a book reading or something that you want them to read online. You can share a Chrome tab. Now, my suggestion would be to have that Chrome tab open in the background, and then you can just click which one it is. So if I want them to watch a growth mindset video, I'm just going to go ahead and share that, and then they can watch and view that video while I'm still
Chapter 1.
monitoring what's
Mojo
going on.
discovers a secret about his brain.
So,
A secret that will change the way he looks at the world forever.
So if I want to
Our story
stop
begins
that,
with Mojo,
then I would just
a
click
friendly monster who loved school, especially.
I would just click the stop button. Sorry, my mouse kind of went crazy. So I would just click the stop button, and then I would be back to where I am with my students. So those are the features down at the main bottom part. The plus sign, we have to do a little bit more experiments with. We did try to do a poll, and we tried to do an upload a presentation, but we aren't sure where they kind of went. So if somebody gets on a tutorial or can figure that out, it might be worth sharing. The poll option was pretty cool, but we didn't know really where it went, and the kids couldn't see the results when it was finished. So when you come on, your screen might look like this, just completely open and blank. But if you click on the little person over in the left-hand corner, you'll get this white box. This is where all of your participants' names will be, in addition to being at the top. They will also be down here at the bottom or off to the side. And these highlight or kind of glow when the person is talking. So
You are now muted.
You'll know who is talking. And somehow I
You are
muted
now
myself.
unmuted.
So you can manage from here, you can manage your users. So if you don't want to hear what's going on in everybody's house, but you want to be the one doing some talking, you can mute all users. So that way they can hear you. And then you can turn that off, and then everybody will be back on again. Right. So the other two options here are for students to be able to do some typing. So I'll start with the public chat. This is like any chat forum. This can be open and closed like this, but if you, students can ask a question and everybody would be able to see the question. So we would want to maybe do some good technology skills there and making sure we're not typing things that are inappropriate, but you would be able to respond to those, and so would the other students. So that's a good feature if you're going to do some chatting. You can also save these for a later time. So if you wanted to put some in your counseling notes, which we don't have, but you can certainly keep a record of them as you're working. The other option is the shared notes. So another place where maybe students can submit some responses. So if you wanted, to keep a running list of something that you were working on. So maybe they were working on a story about anxiety. So you could start working on that story here, and they could each modify it. In our test session, we said this was another place where you could have students respond, and maybe just by putting their initial, then you could have them respond here. You'd have to do a little bit of teaching to make sure they press enter or wait till somebody's done, but then they would be able to put in their responses there. So another option, just different options for you to have students respond. Now, Stacy found a great little tool, over here in the cog. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong one. So in the cog over here by users, you can do something called create breakout rooms. So I would see this as being something that you can utilize if you want students to kind of do a quiet pair share, or you just want them to have one-on-one time with another student. Then you can create a breakout room. So then they would be able to communicate instead of in front of the whole group. This would just be done separately. So let's say we have 6 kids in our group. We want 3 different rooms. We can put 2 kids in each room. We can certainly assign them to a room. Right click. It can randomly assign the students, and then it's just where it is. You can set the duration. I would set it to as much time as you need. You can always end it early. So once you have that in, you would just say create. So now I was asked to join room 1. So I'm going to go ahead and join. And it just kind of goes through the same setup system that you did to get in, because you're going into basically a whole nother meeting room. So once students
You are currently the only person in this conference.
Once students get into that room and everything looks the same, I can have students maybe write back and forth to each other. Again, if I click on the multi-user whiteboard, I can tell one person to be pink and one person to be red, and we can, chat, or we can just do a visual chat with our webcams or just through audio. And so you as the facilitator of that, if you look up top here at your bars, this is the breakout room. So if you have multiple breakout rooms, they would pop up front. but then you as the facilitator, you can go into each of the rooms. So I can go into room 2. There's not going to be anybody in there, obviously, because I don't have anybody else in the conference.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
But if I go back to my original, so you can see room 1, room 2, and then I have my room 3 here. So I can go into each of the rooms and monitor what's going on just by clicking up each of the sites, right? And so you might want to mute yourself at this point so that you're just a silent observer
You are now muted.
into what's going on in those rooms. Now, if I was done or I heard them not talking anymore, I want to end the breakout rooms. I just click on that button and everybody comes back to the main room.
You are currently the only person in this
So then
conference.
we would be back in our group and maybe we would debrief some of the things that we just did in our breakout sessions. So that is pretty much all of the features of running a group. So again, looks a little bit different when you have some more people in there, but we have the ability to play around in that test group counseling site. So if you would like to be added to that, I'm going to push out the ID code so that you can join that. You can go ahead up and set up a conference, set up a time, let me know if you want me to join your conference so you can mess around with some of the pieces, or let some of your other counselor friends know, and maybe we can help each other get started without actually, you know, running a group with students for the first time. Run it with us instead. So just send me an email if you want me to participate in a group. Just let me know what time and what group it is, and I'll be sure to join in. To end the meeting, when everybody is all said and done, if you just click over here to the 3 dots on the right, you can end the meeting. And you say yes, and then you are all done. You don't need to rate if you don't feel you need to, but your conferences, if you click on your conferences over here, you can see that we no longer have that conference. So it's there. All right, I think that covers all of it. If you have any questions, feel free to email or give me a call.